Your TikTok said that there are so many people so quick to judge until they are in that same situation.
Ooh, baby, like what I wouldn't do, and then look at you doing it because you in that situation.
Exactly. Recently, there was all over the news about the Diddy and Cassie situation. Can you address just the mentality of people in abuse situations or traumatic situations who can't leave, why they don't leave,
Right.
and just addressing that comment section, because that's where my heart drops. Is like,
And
this is what we think as a collective.
yes, and it goes back to what I said, and then that's when your opinions hurt people. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. So here it is. And I think I've broken this down before. Like when a person has been exposed to a trauma or a high amount of toxic and or traumatic stress, which an abusive relationship is traumatizing, as well as it's a high amount of toxic and traumatic stress, they can do a series of 4 things: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And so, the fighters are your people that are, I ain't gonna let this happen to me no more. So I'm fighting, I'm arguing, I'm gonna get you before you get me, those type of people, those rah-rah people, but then you got your fleers and you got your people that just run. You got your people that when they run, but running is different. Running can be smoking it away, drinking it away, partying it away, sexing away, different things to avoid. You know what I'm saying? And then you got your freezers, and your freezers are your people where they stay in the situation because they may feel that they don't have no other way out, or this is what I have to deal with, or I have to go through this physically. But then mentally they disconnect, they disassociate. And then you got your fawners, and your fawners are your people where they become those people where I don't want this to happen to nobody else, or somebody didn't do right by them. So they become the I'll do it, I'll take care of it, I got it. And then they do that for other people, but then they end up teaching people how to use them by accident. You know what I'm saying? And so like when you have people that are in abusive situations, they can do a combination of those things. And so like when I looked at Cassie, I was like, wow, while she was in that situation, it's kind of like also there's something called Stockholm syndrome, where you fall in love with your abuser. And there's also something called trauma bonds. I was in a 17-year relationship, 13-year marriage. And it's like, as I sat back, I was like, oh, snap. I was in a trauma bond. I married my mama and my daddy in the same person and didn't even recognize that was happening. And so sometimes you can convince yourself that the things that you are going through, that it's going to get better, or you can convince yourself that it's not that bad, or you can convince yourself that the good times outweigh the bad times. And what's going on with you psychologically, that's what you're telling yourself. And like I said, what you tell yourself is your truth, but it doesn't mean it's the truth. And so what I believe that happened with that baby is she went through all of that with him. And then she now is in a healthy relationship. And now she possibly is getting therapy as well. And now she's seeing that all of the things that she went through, that it wasn't right, that it was that bad. And now she's like, I got to do something about it because I don't want that to happen to somebody else.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, folks is coming out the woodworks. There's been a whole lot of other things that didn't happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't put a time frame on somebody's healing process.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have met with women and men that have been through certain things, and they went through these things when they was kids, and now they in their 30s and 40s, and we just now dealing with it. And then it's like you want to talk bad about Cassie with the Diddy situation, but let's talk about the people that Uncle Charles touched in when they were 7, 8 years old, but they still going to Thanksgiving dinner with Uncle Charles and taking their kids.
Come on.
What's the difference?
Yeah. Come on. Look, go say hi to Uncle Charles.
You hear me? Because you hear me? Go give Uncle Charles a hug. Go sit on Uncle Charles' lap. You know what I'm saying? Because you never dealt with your stuff or putting your kids in those type of situations. And so it's like, whenever it happens, whenever the light goes off that this wasn't okay.
Yeah.
Whenever it happens and whenever you start healing, that's when it's the time for you to do what's needed to do, for you to unpack that, process it, purge it, and become the best version of you. And I believe that this is the space for her to do it, where she feels safe. Because everybody doesn't always feel safe either to heal. And Diddy's a big force. You know what I'm saying? And so like, also, I can't come out with nothing if I don't have all my ducks in a row.
Amen. Amen. And also, I don't care how much money she got. Like, that does not equate to healing people.
No, and it's not, and it's still the emotional scar. She's gonna have that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, people don't think about the intrusive thoughts. People don't think about the night terrors. People don't think about the hypervigilance, all of those things that's associated with the traumatic experiences. There are the somatic things, the headaches, the body aches, the,
Mm.
the sleeplessness, those types of things. We don't think about that. I'm just going to say it to those that are out there. So many people have normalized abuse that
Mm.
we think that the things that we are going through are normal. But when you really think about it, we out here like cars with our check engine lights on, and we scared to go put our car on a diagnostic because we don't want to know what all them lights mean when they come on to say that something ain't right inside of us.